Al, I'm sorry, I don't have much to help you with in regards to being sleep deprived or having issues with insomnia. In fact, what I heard today on CBC Radio is quite depressing about insomniacs. They have a higher tendency of actually falling sick and dying quicker than most people. From what I've heard on the report, that they are higher risk people in regards to diabetes or being overweight. They tend to eat high starchy foods or high carbo carbohydrate diets. They tend to eat more carbs than most. I don't think that's the case with you. It could be because of the following. I'll ask the questions and you can refrain from answering them or not. It's really up to you and your wife. But A, do you only use your bedroom for sleeping? If the answer is no, you need to find something better to be able to actually sleep in, because if you use your bedroom for more than just sleep, your brain kind of tunes in to the fact that, hey, this is not necessarily where I like sleeping. So I'm not feeling sleepy at the moment. Funny story about the nature station. Um, it would be nice to have that as a wake up alarm clock though for myself, because I'm hard when a bomb could go off next to me when I'm sleeping and I won't budge much more than possibly an inch turning over, and that's pretty much it. Um, yeah, no, no sleeping pills. If you're really having issues sleeping, everything that I can help you to help relax will require that you have at least an 8 hour period that you can actually try to sleep. You can try valerian mint. Valerian smells very strong. It's a very potent herb for people suffering from sleep disorders. It's good when you actually are having a very hard day and very trying time trying to fall asleep. Uh, Mind you, trying to fall asleep, usually you're not supposed to go sleep, 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 because when you close your eyes and you're trying to force yourself to sleep, it doesn't work. It really doesn't. In fact, you're doing completely the opposite. You're pushing your anxiety levels out of whack. Your blood pressure goes up slightly, and you end up waking for nothing. And I also know that if you're suffering from anything currently that's aggravating, kind of not messing with your mind, but that's, how can I put it, resting on the top of your mind, the forefront of your brain. Like you've got a problem right now, either a health issue or a work-related issue or a social issue that you haven't been able to resolve, and it's weighing heavily. It may be heavy enough to stop you from actually sleeping. My ex-wife used to have issues where if she started thinking about things, her brain would go into hyperdrive and she'd keep on thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and not be able to fall asleep. For her, I usually gave her a foot massage or a back rub, and that was enough to help her fall asleep. Either that or stroke her hair. That's something that she taught me to do for her, because apparently it was something that relaxed. And trust me, those on her worked well. For me, I've never taken sleeping pills. I don't intend to. I try to avoid going to bed past midnight because the body tends to take much longer to recuperate. They say that for every hour that you sleep beyond midnight, your body needs 2 hours additional sleep to be able to recoup the fatigue. And from what I've been able to gather, that's true. Uh, Here's a funny story that happened to me when I was married and living in this house. We were so tired of one day that we fell asleep in our living room watching TV, low volume. I think it was a reality show, Dancing with the Stars, or So You Think You Can Dance. And I woke up at 1 or 2 in the morning. We were just too tired to go downstairs to the bedroom to sleep, so we decided, I just brought out the covers, covered my wife. She was sleeping like a baby. I remembered I had dishes in the sink, and I decided that I needed to go wash the dishes. And I'm half asleep. Half asleep is possibly overly generous. We'll say 3/4 asleep, literally just enough awake to say, okay, here's the light source, there's the actual physical path. Go and do what you need to do, and go down and lay on the chair and then fall asleep and wake up the next morning. Well, I did that, and I'll never do that again, because it was like 2 in the morning. I was washing dishes and I was actually falling asleep while doing the dishes. Literally falling asleep to the point that I was a little bit like Mr. Bean, but without the church pew, which that's a good thing. Unfortunately, it left me trying to explain the next morning or the 2 days later, what happened to my forehead, because at one point I was putting away the dry dishes from the dish rack, and I had the dishes. I was putting the dishes there. My knobs upstairs are flat with a slightly ridged surface, so if you're not careful, hitting it face forward with your forehead actually will leave a mark. Not permanent, but a noticeable mark. Unfortunately, that's what happened. I fell asleep and literally I went like this. And I remember waking up from the pain. I remember going like this and going, oh, bloody hell, and checking to see if I had any welts or blood. I had no welts or blood. It actually caused subcutaneous damage. Basically, I had a line of blood underneath that raised to the surface overnight. So I had this half ring appearing on my forehead, and I had to actually tell that to people. I said, I fought with a cupboard at 2 o'clock in the morning and I lost. I'll never do that again. I never ever will do that again. And I promised myself and vowed to myself since I've been separated that I will never go down that path. I haven't. Thank God. Anyways, I'll have a nice one. And I hope that regardless of the blood pressure machine that you'll be able to sleep. I wish I could give you breathing techniques. Relaxation techniques tend to work when you're in bed. Well, I think I'm going to be heading earlier to bed because I had a trying time going to the emergency ward of the hospital for just to be able to see a doctor last night over in Sackville. After 4.5 hours later, 11:15, I was told that the doctor was still seeing patients, but they had no way of telling me what time, so they said, are you still going to stay? I said, no, at this point I have to go back. I have to work the next morning. Well, I woke up this morning and the health issue that was bothering me was beyond any possible explanation. And I went to the Georges Dumont emergency ward. Took me 2 or 3 hours to be seen. Not even. I had to call sick to work because I knew I wasn't making it on time, and unfortunately that may actually put me in jeopardy. You gotta love employers that love to put people in jeopardy, but I've got a doctor's note, and if they don't accept it, well, I don't know what to say or do. Because it happened just past midnight that I decided to go back to the Georges Dumont and wait. Just as it was turning, that's why they gave me a note saying the 8th and the 9th. Oh well. Today was a day off, forced due to doctor's orders, and well, I hope your health issues, my health issues, and everybody else's health issues will go smoothly, because I know one thing: humor is the best panacea for anything. Have a nice one.